February historical fiction publications you want to know about. Hey there, I'm Carly. I read and review historical fiction, and I'm bringing you the books that I think you're going to want to know about that are publishing in February. Up first from HTP Books is The Last Twilight in Paris, the brand new Pam Genoff. Yes, you heard it here. Pam Genoff has a brand new book coming out. This is a dual timeline World War II novel about a woman who is living her life after the war. She's married, she has kids, she's working at a thrift store and finds the exact same necklace that her friend who died during the war was given the day before she died. I'm reading this right now and I'm really enjoying it. Up next is Let Us March On. I believe it's a debut novel by Shara Moon, and this is one of many BIPOC historical fiction books on this list, based on the true story of Lizzie McDuffie, a maid in FDR's White House who helped to spearhead the civil rights movement. Sounds amazing. Up next from HarperCollins Focus is The Radio Hour. This is by Victoria Perman, and I'm excited about this. This is set in 1950s Australia, and it's about a 50-some-odd-year-old woman who goes to work at a radio show, and despite her male boss's best efforts to thwart her success, she pulls it together. Sounds like it's witty and snarky and funny, and reflecting back on the golden age of radio. Up next is The Sable Cloak. This is by Gail Melissa Grant. It's being published by Grand Central Publishing, and it's set in the 1940s in a Midwestern town that was a thriving Black cultural center. And it's all about this affluent Black family who had power, political power and financial power over this community. And apparently tragedy strikes, and it's their efforts to hang on to their power and stay together as a family. It sounds really intense. It reminds me of season, I believe it was 6 of Fargo. When I read this description, I thought of that, and I'm all about it. Up next is Red Clay by Charles Fancher. This is being published by Blackstone, and it sounds so good. It sounds like it's a 1940s flashback to Civil War, into the Civil War, like Reconstruction era. A frail, elderly white woman shows up on the doorstep of a Black family in Red Clay, Alabama, and says, "Long ago, my family owned yours." And she has a story to tell. It sounds like a multi-generational family saga that is rich with just history and culture, and I'm down for this. Next up is Harlem Rhapsody by Victoria Christopher Murray. This is from Berkley, so thank you, Berkley, for this beautiful finished copy. Yet again, we've got a BIPOC authored book all about the woman who helped to give birth to the Harlem Renaissance. Sounds amazing, and it's getting so many great reviews. Yet another BIPOC authored book on this list. This is Junie by Erin Crosby Eckstein, and it's all about a young woman during Civil War era that's trying to figure out what happened to her sister. It sounds like there's a magical realism element, and just this cover, I just keep saying it's so beautiful. The Queens of Crime by Marie Benedict. St. Martin's is publishing this, and I am so ready to read this one. It sounds like it's gonna be just a whirlwind of fun. In this book, 5 prominent female crime fiction novelists band together to help just promote their work and essentially tell everyone that they're no longer second-class citizens, right? They can write really good books the same way that men can. How are they gonna do this? They're gonna solve a murder. The Riveter by Jack Wang, published by Harper Via. This is a World War II era love story. It's set in the 1940s in Vancouver, and it's all about a Chinese-Canadian man who wants to serve his country but isn't allowed to do so because of his Chinese heritage. He finds work at the local shipyard as a riveter and then meets a local girl and falls in love. It sounds like an intense and powerful love story. Maya and Natasha by Elise Durham. This is out from Mariner, and it is a Soviet Cold War story about 2 sisters who are both ballerinas, and it sounds like they're in intense competition with each other as well as with other women within the Russian ballet system, and it just sounds fraught with like drama, and I don't know, it sounds really good. Follow Me to Africa by Penny Ha. This is being published by Sourcebooks Landmark. This is a dual timeline about a young woman who, after her mother's death, goes with her father to an archaeological dig site in Africa, and while she's there, she meets an 80-some-odd-year-old archaeologist who has a long story to tell, but it's a good one. Boy by Nicole Gallen, published by William Morrow. It sounds so good. So this is Elizabethan era about a young boy who plays females in Shakespearean plays, and his best friend, a female who wants to be an intellect, and they befriend Sir Francis Bacon, and their lives are forever changed. I Died for Beauty by Amanda Flower. This is, I believe, the third in a series from Berkeley, and it's all about Emily Dickinson and her family solving mysteries. I read the second one of these as kind of a standalone and loved it, so I'm really looking forward to this. The Secret History of Audrey James by Heather Marshall, out from Ballantine. I am very much looking forward to this book. I cannot wait. I loved Heather Marshall's debut, and the fact that she's written a World War II novel, I'm so excited. This is a dual timeline. It focuses on the 1930s and Audrey James, who is about to graduate from a prestigious school in Berlin. Her roommate goes missing, and she and it sounds like other women join in a resistance there in Berlin. And you know me, any resistance fiction, I am all about it, especially right now. So there you have it. Those are the books that I have my eye on for February. I want to thank the tagged publishers for the gifted copies, and I want to hear from you guys. Is this helpful? If so, be sure to sign up for my newsletter. You'll get this information like 2 weeks ago. Sign up for that if you want first dibs on this information. Otherwise, follow me and stay tuned for more. I'm going to be doing these every month throughout 2025.